Welcome to another episode of No Talking During the Movies. I am your host, Stephen Austin.
I am your co-captain, Tank.
Tank is Kong, and I am Godzilla. It's actually funny. Tank actually lost his battle axe in the move, and I only do atomic breath after I've had enough Red Bull and coffee. So that's
I like it.
That's where the difference is with us.
The light runs up your spine, and you just let it go.
It's just, yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Anyway, so yes, we will be talking about Godzilla versus Kong today. Can I already say one of my beefs about this movie though?
Please.
And it's in the name. It's in the title of the movie. It's Godzilla versus Kong. It's King Kong. But he's like, they even call him like a king in the movie, and I'm like, then why isn't it called Godzilla versus King Kong?
I think it's just like a stylistic approach.
Yep. It's one of those modern day marketing things.
Because Godzilla versus King Kong doesn't have the same, kind of phonetic ring to it as Godzilla versus Kong.
I guess, but I feel like whenever I say Godzilla versus Kong, I have to catch myself because something's missing. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because everybody calls him King Kong.
See, but like, do they always call it King what you call it, or did they just say his name?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
King Koopa. Do you say King Koopa, or do you just say Koopa?
I never say Koopa because there's Koopa Troopas.
All right. Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you.
I'm
with you.
I'm just saying, Kong just feels like there's something missing. He could be Kong in Kong Skull Island, but this is King Kong. That's my argument. All right. We'll get to that later. We're gonna get to that later. But I want to start with some of these trailers, and we've got some really good ones today. I want to ask you, which one do you want to start with? Because we've got a lot.
I mean, I'm good going in order. Like, start with Space Jam.
Let's do it. Space Jam. Space Jam 2. I already don't remember the name. Is it A New Legacy? Is that what it's called?
It's something Legacy.
Yeah. It looks good.
I mean, it looks all right.
What? Really? You don't think that's going to be fun?
I mean, it'll be fun, I'm sure. It's just LeBron. I thought LeBron did a great job in the movie Trainwreck.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
And it feels like his acting isn't that good in this so far, what I've seen.
Yeah, the trailer didn't sell me on a lot of his stuff. But again, like the moment I saw him as a cartoon character, I was like, I'm sold. Also, somebody pointed out online that I really liked that, like, Looney Tunes is something that's kind of old and dead. Like, nobody talks about the Looney Tunes anymore.
Sure.
And it's not like we take pride in that or anything. But the moment that Don Cheadle's character was like, send them to the rejects, and then it said Toon World, I was literally like, oh, like, they're the reject. Like, I was offended for them. I was like, don't say that about Bugs and Daffy and what?
I do think it's interesting, the multiverse thing with all the different,
Yeah, like he's flying past like the Game of Thrones world and stuff.
And like recruiting, like the Iron Giant and things like that.
I think the plot of the movie is he's trying to recruit them, but he has to pick from the tunes.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure, I don't know. It seems as if, I don't know. I'm going to withhold my judgment.
You know what it feels like? It feels very Ready Player One-y. Did you see that movie?
I did see that now.
You didn't see that? Okay, so Ready Player One has a very basic plot, but the reason why most people want to see it is because there's so many references in the movie that it's just fun being like, oh, this, oh, that, like, references so far out there that, like, in a garage in one of the players, like a player has a garage very similar to your GTA garage where he's just got all these cars, except that they're like classic spaceships and vehicles from sci-fi stuff. So it's like the DeLorean's in there and the Winnebago from Spaceballs. Like everything's in this movie. Like it's crazy how many references are in this movie. Like the turtles are in there. Like everything you could imagine is in Ready Player One. And I think that's what most people got enjoyment from when they watched it. The plot's fine. But when people watch the movie, they're going, oh, it's, Iron Giant. Right. It's, Snake Eyes.
Yeah. and we'll probably get a lot of that
Yeah.
in the Space Jam movie, and then a lot of references to the first one.
Yeah.
The thing that like kind of was like, oh, for me, was his son was missing, and he didn't seem all that concerned.
What do you mean? He like doesn't
Uh,
he go to the
he does.
multiverse to
But he's
save
like,
his son?
oh, it's like, oh, I gotta find my son. Like it's just something on his to-do list. Like, oh, I gotta pick up my dry cleaning,
Again,
and I gotta go find my son.
this could be audio that's used like when he's telling somebody what he needs to do. It's not like he's like, oh, I guess he's gone. I gotta
even
go
when the kid
find
was
my
missing,
son.
and he goes and he looks at the portal thing in the server room. He's just like, what is that? I guess I'll just see if my missing son is in there. I don't know. It seemed like, where's the urgency, bro? Give me. You know what? Maybe what we need is Space Jam with Liam Neeson.
Maybe
You know
maybe
what I'm
they
saying?
dumbed down. What if they just dumbed down his acting ability because they're like, we need you to match Michael Jordan?
Possible? Is it possible? Because honestly, I thought it was like, okay, this is a little bit. I need to see a little urgency because your kid's missing, bro.
Again,
but
this could be trailer woes. Like that might not be the audio that's in the trailer or in the movie.
Like his son, he wants his son to play basketball, but his son's not interested. So maybe he doesn't love his son because his son doesn't play basketball.
Yeah, that's really what it is. He's like, I don't love my son because he won't follow in my footsteps. Honestly, like, I don't know. The references alone are gonna make me love it. Like seeing Fred Flintstone running in like King Kong and Yogi Bear, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. People will enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. We'll talk about it on the podcast, I'm sure. Next we have the new Cruella trailer because they released a new one just a couple of days ago, which is weird because like didn't we get our last one like a month ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah. I think it's weird that they would release them kind of close to each other, but this one we seem to get a lot more information about the movie. Honestly, it looks like this is like a mix between a little bit of Joker and a little bit of like Devil Wears Prada. Like it's those two movies mixed together is what this movie is.
I can see that. I really like the idea of the madness of Cruella de Vil instead of just I mean, like that's kind of the theme of movies nowadays is evil isn't just evil for the sake of being evil.
Well, exactly. Like in 101 Dalmatians, she's just a crazy lady who wants a Dalmatian coat. Like that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, but this shows to be like, oh no, something led her to be that unhinged and crazy. And it looks like Emma Thompson? Emma Thompson?
Emma Stone.
No, who's the older woman in the movie?
Oh,
isn't that Emma Thompson?
I don't know. Be honest.
I'm gonna look it up. But her, like, they mentioned in the trailer that she has Dalmatians, which immediately I'm like, I found her hatred for Dalmatians.
Yeah.
Which is clever. Emma Thompson, I knew it. Man, 2 Emmas in this movie.
Well, it's just like kind of like a fun gangster flick. I mean, I'm really in on this. I think this is a neat idea, and I'm excited to see this world in real life instead of animated. I'm excited.
I'm also interested in the idea that Emma Thompson's character is essentially like the old Cruella, and Emma Stone's character is coming in and being like, "No, you're old news. It's my time now," kind of deal. Right. And I really like that. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun.
I feel like if this movie was 20 years ago, there's no way that Cruella de Vil would have been played by Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, that would have been some great casting. Honestly, now I'm just thinking, like, why didn't they get... Well, maybe she's not old enough to play Emma Thompson's character. But, like, if it came out, like, 10, 15 years from now, do you think they would have Helena Bonham Carter play Emma Thompson's character and be the old Cruella?
I mean, I don't know how you don't make that casting
because like she's just so perfectly unhinged in a lot of her movies.
She's so like madness. I mean, that's what
She does it very well, and man, we haven't seen her in a while, have we? Helena Bonham
It's been
Carter.
a while. I think like one of the Harry Potter universe movies last time she's been around.
It can't have been that long ago, huh? Like I think Deathly Hallows Part 2. I think we learned this the other day. Like it was 10 years ago. She hasn't been gone that long.
I don't know. I don't remember seeing her in anything.
Yeah.
Recently. I'll look it up while you set up the next thing.
Well, yeah. So the next Cruella looks fun. That's really one I just want to say. This looks like a lot of fun. I like the idea of us taking classic Disney villains and us like somehow caring about them, even though they're the villains. I like that idea.
You know, they did the same thing with Maleficent. You know what I mean?
They did, and they like the first Maleficent movie is fantastic. I haven't seen the second one yet.
It's okay.
It's okay. I really, really enjoyed the first one. And they made me care for a character that was she was just evil. She just used to be evil, and that was it. And if they keep this up, like, are they going to do an Ursula movie? Like, how crazy would that be?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, right?
I would watch that.
I don't think they would do a Hades movie, just because his whole definition he's supposed to be evil, like, because he's a Greek god. But now I'm trying to think, like Jafar.
But see, that's the thing about Hades isn't evil inherently.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
he's just because he's not the devil.
No, he's just doing a job that they forced him to do.
Exactly. So
that's a good point.
You know, I mean, that's actually kind of a really good
plot,
like
story to tell,
something to examine. You know what I mean? Enola Holmes. She was in The Crown.
She was in Enola Holmes. Oh, I think she played the mother of Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill.
She's the Eudora Holmes.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be their mother. All right, well, I guess she's around. I just haven't seen her in like anything. Huh.
Yeah, because nobody gave a shit about that movie.
Apparently not.
Can I just tell you, and we'll get into this a little bit later. I don't care about Millie Bobby Brown. I just don't.
Yeah.
If it's not Stranger Things,
well,
I got no use.
That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? Like, she made such a scene with Stranger Things that everything else now is kind of like, you're the girl from Stranger Things. And it's really sad too, because like actors like Hayden Christensen couldn't be anything other than Star Wars and be memorable.
I'm not saying that she couldn't. I'm just saying, like, I just don't care.
Well, because that's the thing. Like, I feel like most people just don't really care about seeing her unless it's in her like most known role. I think Daniel Radcliffe is even in that route where like I can name a few movies he's been in other than Harry Potter, but he's still acting. He's still being an actor, but he was Harry Potter.
Here's that movie Akimbo. Did you see that?
I never saw Guns Akimbo. Is that good?
I didn't see it either. No.
Huh? I heard it was crazy, but you could gather that from the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Did you ever see Swiss Army Man?
Never saw it.
Oh my god, that one. He's like a dead body who's can do anything. It's so weird. It's such a weird movie, but Daniel Radcliffe's really good in it.
Call him Danny?
That's it? No, Daniel.
Oh, I thought you said Danny, like you guys were best friends.
Yeah, I call him Danny all the time. We play Halo together. But our other like crazy trailer we got. Okay, I want to end on this trailer. So let's go to Jupiter's Legacy, the next Netflix property. What did you think of this? Because I'm like interested, but I'm not.
I'm stoked, honestly.
Stoked?
Here's the thing, I'm stoked, but also I could kind of see where it could get into some old bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like it has so much potential, but also no potential at all. I don't understand it.
You know, there's like going to be a lot of family drama and nonsense.
That's it. That's what.
And there's going to be a lot of, you know.
They have this whole shot at the end of the trailer of them fighting some like super monster thing. So I'm like, all right, that's probably going to be the final fight of the movie that they just showed like all of this time dedicated to. But the whole premise, like I had to look up the synopsis after I watched the trailer to be like, all right, what exactly is this show? And it's, you know, the first generation of superheroes are old and they now are looking to their kids to like carry on the legacy of being heroes.
Right.
And that's a brilliant idea. But there's like this weird superstardom aspect about it too that I'm like, damn it.
Well, there's it's like the thinliest veiled allegory of all time about what the parents had to do to ascertain the powers.
Sure.
Apparently it was hard, but the kids just got it.
That's also true. Yeah, they actually went on some like crazy expedition, and you see that right at the beginning of the trailer.
So there's like a thinly veiled, we earned this, you didn't. Sure. The kids seem entitled. It's I don't know, man. I feel like it's it's a page out of the 2021 playbook,
A little
and
bit.
I could see like why people. I'm just curious to know. I'm curious about a superhero's family dynamic.
Yeah, me too. But also, like, can I just say I'm really happy that they're wearing like spandex and like crazy superhero outfits because that's something I really enjoy from like the best parts of Marvel is when they wear their outfits
Mhm.
like in the newest episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier we see them in their outfits again and I'm just like yay super suit.
Where is my super suit?
So when a whole show is like, hey, these characters are like gonna be wearing their outfits constantly, I'm like, cool. I'm excited for
Yeah,
that.
I could see there's definitely so there's like a really big cliff that they could fall off of 2021ness mixed with like, you know, over dramatic bullshit. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's gonna be a good deal of that, like
I've,
the over
yeah,
dramatic stuff.
like One Tree Hill with superheroes kind of thing, and like we just don't need it. We don't need it. But I will say that the superheroes, at least the older ones, look cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, and there's an interesting, like I'm interested to find out their story. But then again, you know, I mean, do I kind of care? I don't know.
Exactly. I'm so like, it looks great, but it doesn't. How is that
Yeah,
possible?
I think that we've all been burned one time too many,
Maybe,
and
and we're just coming in
uh,
cautious.
we're real, you know. We got the barricade around our hearts like in a relationship, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. That
So,
didn't say Marvel Studios at the start of it.
exactly.
You're gonna be you're gonna have to take a couple of steps back, Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah, you're not the boys and you're not Marvel, so let's everybody calm
Yeah, for
down.
real. Boys, oh my god. I think they're filming the next season of The Boys right now, and I'm just like, give it to me. Give me that show. All right, so next up, our final trailer, we've got Loki. Speaking of Marvel Studios, something I feel very comfortable with. This show looks crazy good.
So good, dude. So good.
I don't and by the way, this is still very confusing. Like the trailer didn't give much away other than the fact that it's like Loki helping time cops essentially.
Do you not pay attention to
I pay
trailers?
attention. What are you talking about?
Uh Owen Wilson's like
Claire. Sure.
Claire.
Loki.
And Loki's in trouble for violating time
Right.
space.
Yeah.
With the stone
Yes.
that he stole
Yes.
in the last movie.
Yes.
Right?
That's obvious.
And he now has to work off his sins by going through time and fixing stuff for them. It's kind of like Quantum Leap, but with worse actors.
With worse actors? Worse
Come
actors
on.
just because Owen Wilson's in it?
Scott Bakula is the greatest actor of all time. He could be anybody. He could be a baseball player. He could be a time traveler or a time traveling baseball player.
That got me. No, I got all of that, but I'm trying to see like what is the big end goal to the because most of these shows all have like an ending. Like WandaVision is a limited series. We can't do another season of WandaVision. Falcon and Winter Soldier, maybe we can do another season, but I feel like the whole purpose is like the legacy of Captain America, so that's going to be told in one season.
Yeah, but you could tell other stories with that
with
that
the
couple.
crew, sure.
But like WandaVision is just that's over.
Exactly. And yes.
Loki, I don't know. We'll see.
That's what I'm talking about, though. We still don't know. Like, I knew going into WandaVision is probably only going to be one season. I knew going into Falcon and Winter Soldier that it was going to be the legacy of Captain America, which might just be one season. Loki, I don't know what the end goal is. You know what I mean? If they're just fixing
redemption and bringing him back to life. Like number one, we're bringing him back to life in the Marvel universe, which is a great thing.
So great.
And we'll get to see him in movies and things like that, and you're gonna get a Thor Loki reunion, which is gonna be awesome. But you're also gonna reunite him with the bad Loki. You know what I mean?
Well, so I do have something to tell you. I don't know if you know this, but there are like different universe Lokis in the Marvel comics. Like there's a Loki that gets reincarnated as a kid. So then he's Kid Loki, is what they call him. And then he joins the Young Avengers, which is something that people are pointing out they're really trying to set up in the MCU right now as the Young Avengers. So they're like, Loki could introduce us to Kid Loki. There's also a female version of Loki in the comics that many people are thinking that's who he's sitting with in the trailer. He's sitting with the female version of himself. I can't remember what her name is. I think they just call her like female Loki and her name's just Loki. But that's another thing that they could be setting up, because on the back of his like jumpsuit or whatever, when he's in the Time Cop precinct, he's got variant written on the back.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes. He's got variant written on his back, which would mean he's a variant of Loki from a different time, which means the show could be introducing other variants of Lokis.
I disagree. I think that he's the variant. He's the variant of time, not the variant of Loki's.
I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. I'm never wrong about these things.
Are you sure?
I called WandaVision blind. I told you exactly what was going to happen in that show. You
said it was going to be great from the beginning.
No, but I mean, I told you what the story was going to be. I called Coming to America 2. I told you exactly what was going to happen in that movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. We'll see.
I understand.
We'll see if your streak's going. We'll see if your streak's keeping up.
No, there's. But I will say, so far in the trailers, I'm not hating Nolan Wilson. I'm good with it. I'm fine.
No, he looks like he's having fun in it too. Like there was something. There was that part where he's just like, you realize I've watched every second of your life. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
That was really funny.
It was really funny.
That was really funny.
That was great. There's a shot in the trailer that people are pointing out, like he might be at Sokovia, because it's like that big dust cloud coming at him, and he's just got his hands up to the dude in the doorway. Do you remember that shot in the trailer?
Kinda, yeah.
It's a really cool shot, but I'm looking at it, and like the architecture around him looks so much older. I just want to make a prediction now, just in case I'm right. It looks like Pompeii.
Oh, that's funny.
That's what I think it is, because it's like this big dust cloud like encroaching this really old architecture with this guy just standing in a doorway while he's just like got his arms out. And I'm like, that kind of looks like Pompeii.
What a fun way to explore history.
Yes, because they already showed he was Cooper, like jumping out of the plane. So I'm like, that's fun.
This could be really fun.
I think this show is going to be so much fun.
They've not let me down yet, so
yeah. Marvel, you keep it going, man. Because honestly, like after WandaVision and after I think the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was like, all right, they know how to do TV. This is great. And as Falcon and the Winter Soldier has just gotten better and better and better, after watching that Loki trailer, all I have is hype. All I have is hype for anything Marvel.
All I have is hype, no matter what.
But yeah, so Loki looks incredible. Do you have any other predictions for the show?
No, not yet. I gotta be honest with you. I'm curious. I know that all these are leading us somewhere, which is another great thing that the MCU does. It's kind of like a shrink leads you somewhere without telling you that you're going somewhere, and then you just wake up and realize something. So I think
that was the thing at the end of WandaVision people pointed out, which was something that they were disappointed in, is that it tells a story, but the end of the show still had to be about how it connects to everything else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They had to still keep open all these loose ends that we can explore later. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't know what we're going to get for that. You know what I mean? Like, what loose ends are there going to be open at the end of this show?
There's going to be a few.
Probably. And Loki is something that I'm like, there could be a ton of loose ends open, even though the whole point seems to be that he's like getting rid of loose ends.
Right.
I don't know.
But hopefully, I would love to see a reunion at the end of that show with Thor and Loki.
Well, there is that one moment in the first trailer when he's jumping out of the plane and he says, Heimdall, Thor, like, brother Heimdall, like, you better not, like, mess this up. And they catch him in midair with the Bifrost. So all I'm thinking is like, who knows? Maybe we'll see like OG Thor, like before, like in that time, it would be before he even came to Earth, so it would just be Thor on Asgard. You know what I mean?
Heimdall's dead though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like in
Oh.
it's the plane scene, which would take place in like what, the 60s, 70s. So like
Yeah. Right.
that would be before he even came to Earth and everything. So that's a possibility that we could see, which is cool. I don't know. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, and I think I like it. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for trailers. Tank, what do you say we start talking about Godzilla versus Kong?
Do you want our recommendations before we get too deep into that?
That's probably a good idea. Let's get some recommendations. And also, I apologize for that. That was a little loud. Go ahead. Give me your recommendation.
All right. Well, today, when we're recording this, DMX, one of the greatest rappers ever to live,
That's right.
and fun actor, passed away.
Mm-hmm.
They took him off life support and he died about a week after overdosing and having a heart attack. No way to describe how big this guy was when I was a kid, like a teenager, and his music and things like that. But he also did some pretty fun action flicks too. Some cool stuff. So today I'm recommending Exit Wounds. Exit Wounds was post-prime Steven Seagal.
Oh.
And DMX. Anthony Anderson on his one of his first star-making roles. Incredible soundtrack, great fighting, good story. It's got the guy who played Spawn, whose name Michael Jai White. Is that right?
Maybe? Oh God, now you got me trying to figure out who played Spawn.
But it's a great movie. Good whodunit, good action. Steven Seagal doing karate, doing what he does, and DMX being DMX. So
you got it, by the way. Michael Jai White.
I figured that. So I just I was getting him confused with Michael Jai Courtney.
That's okay.
But I mean, any DMX movie you're gonna be fine with. But Exit Wounds, I feel like, is kind of the cream of the crop when it comes to.
I haven't seen it, so that might be
really.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen Exit Wounds. I'm not a big Steven Seagal guy, so like I never watched a lot of his films. So
well, to be honest, there's a Steven Seagal trilogy that's worth watching. Every other Steven Seagal is kind of garbage.
Oh, okay.
So, same thing with Jean-Claude Van Damme. There's kind of like a Jean-Claude Van Damme.
There's like a couple of good ones, and then the rest are just kind of
right. You could buy like
copy
a 4-movie
and
pack, and you're good. But this movie, this is like after. This is like when I say post prime. So like this is after the good Steven Seagal had stopped, and then it's like his. I honestly thought it was going to lead to a comeback for him because it was such a better movie than what we had seen from it in between the two runs. Now it also has Tom Arnold in it in a really funny role.
Really?
Yeah, and Anthony Anderson and Tom Arnold have some really great comedic moments in there. And it's just, dude, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
All right, I'll have to check it out. Like I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen any or not.
You know what? Hold on. I might be getting things mixed up. Yeah.
I looked it up on IMDb. Everything you said was correct, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to give it a watch. Like I said, I'm not a huge Steven Seagal guy, so if this is like a better performance from him, and also I don't think I've seen a lot of movies with DMX, so this will also be really nice to watch.
DMX, I mean, like you talk about the height of believable MCs. Now, in real life, he's not a big guy, and he's not a scary guy in real life. Well, I mean, maybe he's scary in real life, but he's not big. So, like, I'm 6'3", and I've been 250 pounds since I was 17 years old. So, I don't scare easily. So, it's not like I look at DMX and go, "Oh, that guy's intimidating." But his aura and his whole, he sells it. But like, also, he sells it. He's a great rapper. And it's a huge loss, and it's a shame that he succumbed to his demons because Like, I don't share his faith or anything like that, but I always respected his commitment to it.
Sure.
And just some really classic albums. Some real bangers on his albums, and just, I mean, it's a huge loss. And all of his movies that he did, from Belly, there was one with Jet Li, and I just cannot remember the name of it. It's killing me, but I can't. That also had Tom Harmon in it, by the way. So it's man, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I'll have to check that one out. Yeah, my recommendation is actually a movie that I watched last night for the first time in a while. One of my favorite Jim Carrey performances. I know you're not a huge Jim Carrey guy. I know. The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, Jack Black in one of his first early roles. It's a fun movie. But also, can I just say, like, Jim Carrey, it's like when they made it, they're like, hey, we're going to put Jim Carrey in what he's been doing best and just like outrageous out there comedy. But also we're going to make it like super creepy and like almost demented in how his character is portrayed, how he has got this over obsessive addiction to not only TV, but anybody who shows him any like bit of interest at all.
Yeah.
And I liked that because they went, hey, let's take Ace Ventura and just make him like an actual crazy person. Like, not a smart crazy person, like an actual like over obsessive person. And I don't know, it's a really fun movie. They've got some of the like some great moments in it that I always love watching, like when they're at medieval times. Like, it is a fun movie. Matthew Broderick, I noticed when I was watching it, Matthew Broderick is trying to do like heightened Matthew Broderick. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing shy and nerdy, but also he's like doing it so big and it just doesn't come across good. And it's because he's competing with Jim Carrey, who's just like the loudest person in the room. So it's like, Matthew Broderick does a great job, but when it's compared to his co-star, it's like, oh, buddy, what are you doing? You gotta go smaller. Bud. You're not selling this. You're not selling it with Jim Carrey on screen. But it's just a real fun movie. It's one of my favorite Jim Carrey performances. I think, honestly, for Jim Carrey, it goes Cable Guy, Truman Show, and then Liar Liar. Like, is those three for me.
You know, that movie, Cable Guy, is like the stupid person's What About Bob?
Yeah? Is that your thought process? You just really don't like Jim Carrey.
It's not Jim Carrey necessarily
that
I have a problem with. I mean, I don't like him, but I just don't like physical comedy. I don't think like, I think that the Tom Green, anything that's just like supposed to be outrageous, that's supposed to be funny, I don't get.
I don't think he does physical comedy in Cable Guy, though. Like, he's more still conversational, like randomly yelling and stuff.
It's still that over the top, like,
he's definitely over the top.
All that mugging and like the, you know.
But again, I cannot get over the medieval times scene where he's fighting Matthew Broderick in the middle of the ring, and he starts like singing the theme song from Star Trek. Like, he's doing the fight scene, and he's like quoting it word for word. I'm sorry, Jim. They will kill us both. Like, he's so funny. I don't know. To each his own, I guess.
Suppose. All
right, you want to fight?
Yeah.
Let's go. Godzilla versus Kong. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna be doing some spoilers on this. It's been out for about 2 weeks since we were recording this, so we thought it'd be safe. Also, watch a trailer. You get most of the story from the trailer.
You get the point.
You get the gist. The biggest spoiler is that another character shows up, but that's really it.
Also of note is this movie is the biggest movie of the pandemic so far.
And I hate that.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a little unfair because it's the first big movie to come out with the movie theaters.
And streaming and movie theaters. Sure, yeah.
But it didn't make a lot of money. It made like 47 million in a 5-day period, which for a blockbuster like this, now I bet you the streaming numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah, and I literally the day after it came out, my feed on every social media platform was just filled with people talking about Godzilla versus Kong. So even though I don't feel like I know anybody who owns HBO Max, apparently everybody owns HBO Max.
Well, I mean, that comes with like a lot of people's cable.
That's also a good point. That's a great
For
point.
I know with Xfinity, I get included Peacock and HBO Max.
You get both?
Yeah.
See, I don't know about, like, I'm interested in Peacock, but I don't want to pay for it. So
here's the thing. Like, I think that Xfinity gives you the fastest internet at 1.2 gigs.
You
know, even though over a 1 gig Wi-Fi, which is huge. But no, but seriously, like, yeah, I get HBO Max. I subscribe to HBO, so I get that with my Xfinity, and then Peacock too. I honestly don't know if it's the premium one or not, because I know there's 2 different Peacocks.
Oh, I didn't realize there was 2 different. Yeah. So they're taking the Hulu approach.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I did watch the Saved by the Bell stuff. So.
Well, so you're seeing original content. That's good.
Yeah.
But all right, Tank, what did you think of Godzilla versus Kong?
Now, okay, so the last movie I really liked a lot. The King of the Monsters.
Godzilla King of Monsters or whatever.
Yeah, and Kong Skull Island I thoroughly enjoyed.
I very much enjoyed Kong Skull Island.
So I had pretty high expectations going into this movie, expecting a good fight. Now, I did not realize that Kong was as big as Godzilla.
Well, so they confirmed that in Kong Skull Island, which took place in what, the 70s? When did that movie take place?
Yeah, it was like around Vietnam, yeah.
They explained that Kong is like still growing then. Like he's kind of a child. Like so he's not matured. So over all these years he's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And that was their way to explain, and also to try to make it so he's the same size as Godzilla.
Yeah, so I outside of that, a lot of great things about this. This movie had a lot of great things going for it. It really did.
I agree.
I actually enjoyed the storyline of the little girl who spoke with Godzilla.
I did too. Every moment that she like could feel his heartbeat through the floor, I was like, that's cool.
It was a good. It was. I thought that was a good addition, as opposed to what the Millie Bobby Brown Paperboy.
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, even I was gonna text you when I started watching. I was like, oh, dude, I forgot Paperboy was in this. And then like as I was watching, I was like, oh, but he's not. Like, he's fine. It's just I don't care.
No,
I don't
it wasn't
care.
Fine. It was a Rose from Star Wars type of bullshit thing, and it took away from the movie. I thought. I
agree.
Think
there was a lot of human stuff that didn't need to be there. Sorry.
It made it a worse movie. Now, here's the thing. Like, I don't know if they were trying to, because Millie Bobby Brown was kind of Godzilla's advocate.
Yes, that was the whole point.
So I don't know if they were trying to even things out, because the little girl and the lady who studied Godzilla were his advocates. Or I'm sorry, King Kong were his advocates. So I don't know if they were trying to even out. I don't know what the point was, but all I know is Millie Bobby Brown, who is enjoyable in Stranger Things, Paperboy, who's awesome in everything except for this, and the little New Zealand kid who was great in Deadpool 2. I hated watching him, and they stole screen time. They stole screen time from this movie, and it was super annoying. And if they ever recut this movie, they absolutely, because think about, they could cut those people out of this movie and it wouldn't make a single bit of difference.
No, because their whole plot is essentially just leading them to change a password and for the bad guy to tell them his evil plan. Like, that's it. That's the whole purpose of their story, which I'm like, we don't need a human bad guy to tell his whole evil plan. We don't need them to change a password for this movie to be good. Honestly, it's a 2-hour movie that only needs to be an hour and a half. If that.
And you can trim the payroll by 4 and you're good.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and better, honestly, because sometimes less is more. And
exactly.
I thought the little girl and the lady who studied, I'm sorry, I don't remember her actress's name or the character's name. But that was fascinating. I gotta tell you, the fight scenes, there were, I believe, 3 between the two of them.
Yeah, there were like 3 big ones.
And they were exciting.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm just in my own bubble here. The first one did nothing for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't anxious because of the water?
No, because also like I don't know, maybe it's just because I knew these characters were going to stay around and I knew we still had like an hour of a movie left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like that shouldn't take you out of the drama
I,
of how anxiety ridden being trapped underwater feels. You know what I mean?
Sure, but also
Yeah.
like we've already established that we don't care about these humans. Like
No, not the humans. The guy, the King Kong.
King Kong.
King Kong underwater was freaking me out. I was feeling really anxious about it. Now, here's where I ran into problems. Where he jumped across the boats like they were things that could hold him up. When he stood on the aircraft carrier like it was a surfboard,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is stupid, but it's fine.
There's
like,
a couple of things. Can I also say I don't like his like action star movie jump when the laser beam comes up through the boat from underwater? That like, ooh, I hated that.
Like the Die Hard 3 jump that Samuel L. Jackson and John McClane did jumping off the boat.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I get it, and his fighting style is what I would refer as maybe MMA, because he was throwing elbows and he was doing headlocks. I mean, this is not how primates fight.
No, it's not. Like
now, I understand that he knows. I know that he knows sign language, but I did not know that he also knew jiu-jitsu. Those are just, that's
actually what they did. Like they were like, all right, we're gonna teach you sign language today, and then we're gonna put on MMA on the TV for you tomorrow.
Could you imagine how dangerous a 800-pound gorilla would be knowing jiu-jitsu? Because their hands are like feet; they could choke two people at once.
It's true.
Ridiculous. I mean, like
if they're really great, 3.
I mean, like that's true. 4,
yeah, just hold them up while they're choking 4 people out.
And then I actually really kind of, even though I thought it was silly, when he went to the upside down.
I hated all of this. By the way, I hated all of it.
You didn't even like the fight when he swung the bat at the other bat.
No, that was cool. I liked that. But honestly, I just don't think they explained it well enough. But also, it's like they're trying to expand the lore of Kong in this. Like,
yeah, and they're trying to do it the fast way.
Exactly, and I'm just like, this was the Justice League original cut all over again, where it's like, we need to get to these points quickly, so we're gonna try to quickly tell you things and explore things very fast. Like Kong, I almost feel like Kong needed his own additional movie for all of this crap.
Well, I mean, like the exposition that they did to explain that he would know where to go is genetic memory, and it was a one-line drop in the middle of the movie that nobody was paying attention to, and it's like this is how he knows where to go and what he's doing and how to fight. Right.
Visually super beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was about it for it. Like all the rest of it, I was like, I don't need any of this.
You know what I'm here for is a Kong family fighting movie with Titans when Titans run the Earth, or even the middle of the Earth, and explain the bone tomahawk that they had.
The frickin' axe, and then also like he had like a throne. He had a throne in the middle, and I'm like, that seems way more like as much as I didn't like any of this section, the moment they got to like his family's palace or whatever you want to call that, I was like, I would watch a movie just about this. I want to know what all this is. Can we also talk? I just remembered somebody who I absolutely hate and who also does not need to be in this movie, and it's the main villain's daughter, who we also saw in I Care a Lot and Baby Driver. What I can't remember the actress's name. Why is she in this movie?
Because she is a 12.
No, that is not the purpose of her being in this movie. Her purpose of being in this movie is just to be an a-hole for these heroes. Like,
I'd like to see that.
No, stop it. Can we talk about how like Godzilla, like Millie Bobby Brown's crew, they were going up against the head bad guy, and then Sign Language Girl and her like guardian or whatever, they were going up against bad guy's daughter. Like, and those were like their struggle. They like the kings are fighting each other, like the king and the god are fighting each other, while the humans are fighting their own villains. And I'm like, they're not fighting them. She's just being an ass the entire time, and then literally gets herself killed in the dumbest way. You are escaping, and you decide, hey, let's shoot him for no reason. Why? Why? They picked her up and smushed her, and that was my biggest cheer of the movie. I'm like, thank God she's not in this movie anymore.
I like the swisher too.
Oh my God.
So here's the thing. It seems like they came up with a plot point and then try to work their way backwards as to how to get to there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because a lot of that stuff was just completely unnecessary, I thought.
Yes.
And also, I'm not a parent yet. I've got a kid on the way.
Okay.
But taking a child into the center of the earth seems like just a bad parenting move.
Also, to this person's defense, this little girl is the only person Kong will talk to.
Okay. But
I don't want to defend this movie, Tank, but I'll defend that.
I'm just saying that Florida Department of Family Services would take this kid away from you.
Sure. That's after the fight, though.
Yeah, I guess. Also, wow, did Hong Kong get messed up?
Honestly, it was funny as I was watching this, I literally was like, still not as bad as Metropolis and Man of Steel.
I don't know, man. The way they ran Mechagodzilla through a building.
No, man. Metropolis straight up got like flattened. Like all of it was gone. Also, yes, you just mentioned it. Mechagodzilla. By the way, Mechagodzilla is my favorite Godzilla monster. So
he's pretty cool.
I was very happy to see him. And I saw a lot of people online going, his design looks stupid. I'm like, his design looks like a modern version, like not sleek, because he wasn't sleek. And that's what I liked about it. He didn't look like just a chrome version of Godzilla. He just looked cool and mechanical and the right kind of like modern day Mechagodzilla. That was my happiest part of the movie, was when he showed up. I was like, yep, this is what I was waiting for.
I mean, and he was cool, and it was good. It was good battles too. And and then King Kong woke up and put him in an armbar. They gave King Kong CPR. That's
right, they did. And then they did they give us another hero shot or did they not? The like jumping, like Die Hard 3 jumping shot.
Well,
with,
and then Godzilla and him started working together, and threw up into the axe and charged it up.
Can I just say I hated that? Like,
it was
them working together
stupid
thing.
No,
but you knew that was
stupid.
going to be the plot. The moment I knew Mechagodzilla was in this movie, which, by the way, I know this isn't really in the trailer. Like, it's not shown a lot in the trailer, Mechagodzilla. But, like, toys came out about Mechagodzilla and just showed everybody, by the way, Mechagodzilla's in this movie. So the moment I knew he was in the movie, I was like, oh, that's what the movie's going to be. They're going to work together at the end. But you know what? The director did give us a winner.
That's true.
Godzilla, baby!
I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm surprised I was wrong, but
I liked how they did it in like a 3-round style. Like, as much as I wasn't a huge fan of like the first action scene, that action scene was supposed to be like, yeah, Godzilla has you beat. And then the second scene, after Kong went to the land of his ancestors and got the magical Excalibur axe, you know, like that was when Kong beats Godzilla. And then they have a third fight out of nowhere, which doesn't feel like we had any time in between the two.
It was just like immediately third fight.
Yeah, I feel like we needed more. Like, I know I should not be asking for more time in this movie, but there should have been some time in between those two fights at the end.
Yeah, maybe instead of all the human stuff, we could have just talked about why there's a throne, who made the axe.
I would have loved that. But
I don't know, maybe some things like that.
We're hitting our 50-minute mark. We still got to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So let me just ask you overall, where would you? We haven't done this in a while, and we should start doing it for when we talk about these movies. Where would you like rank this film on like a letter grade scale? Because for me, overall, it was just like okay, but I would still rank it like a B minus. Like it's a fine movie.
I'll go C plus.
C
I'll go
plus.
C plus.
I'm
I'll
surprised
go
you're
C
lower than
plus
me.
because Millie Bobby Brown and her gang of misfits really took me out of it a lot of times. Whenever they showed
I
up,
hated her friend.
I almost threw the remote at the TV every
Like,
time they would show up.
I was okay with Millie Bobby Brown and Paperboy. The friend is the one that I was like, I'm sick of you. I'm done with you. I want you to stop talking. And then it was up to that friend being like the hacker trying to figure out a password. I'm like, this is so dumb.
He was just there to show that she's independent. That's the only reason he was there.
Okay, that's also, hold on. That's also something that I just remembered. He's not even, his whole point at the end there, their whole journey was to figure out a password, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just comes down to, give me your wife's whiskey that you're going to save for the last moment, and let me just pour it over the controls. And that's what's going to save the day, by the way, because that put Mechagodzilla out of commission. And I'm like, I would have much rather it had just been King Kong and Godzilla working together is just better than Mechagodzilla.
Let's get together.
Yeah, like that.
And then just Godzilla's holding his arms back and King Kong just working
exactly.
his midsection.
It's actually like it just cuts to the scene from Office Space and Mechagodzilla is the printer. Like, and they're just stomping on him.
It's like a bunch of 80s bullies. I couldn't, yeah. So C plus, Millie Bobby Brown and the gang of the uselesses, not in it.
Just
it's
unneeded.
a B plus. It's a B plus because it's good action.
Yeah.
Good action, great CGI. Like you said, it looked great.
Oh my God, they looked fantastic. When
he swung the bat, I like the zero gravity thing, and when he flipped over. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in the movie. And, unfortunately,
they had to fill it with a bunch of BS.
The people were not part of the cool stuff. So.
All right. Well, let's transfer over to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We will be spoiling, obviously. Overall, all I can say is that the show just keeps getting better and better and better. If you have not watched it, please watch it. We're going to get into spoilers right away. So, Tank, what did you think of this episode?
I agree with you on this. I think the show just keeps getting better. Each episode is more compelling than the next. This one didn't have as much action.
No, we got some good action scenes, mainly towards the end. It was like this episode, by the way, felt long, but in a good way. Like,
right, totally.
There was a point in the episode that I was like, man, this feels like it's been going on for a while. And I looked at the timestamp and I saw like another 30 minutes left, and I was like, this is awesome. Like,
yeah, and that's what we need is more of it.
Yeah.
There's only 2 episodes left after this one.
I can't believe it.
You got to wonder where it's going to go from here. And, we kind of got to some things that I've been waiting for, and some very cool character growth moments.
Yeah.
I thought, first of all, I need Sam to get his sleeves longer, because when his sleeves roll up, his costume looks ridiculous. Number 1.
What a weird take, but go on.
Number 2, the guard from Wakanda when they showed up.
Yes, the Dora Milaje is the name of the guards.
That's
not her name. It's not her name. That's the name of the guards. Is the Dora Milaje. I'm trying to remember what her character's name is, but go on.
But they are, they're charged with protecting the king, so they took it really personal when Zemo killed T'Challa.
Right.
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka is T'Challa's
king?
father. Yes, the one who dies at the UN.
So when they killed him,
and they took
it really personally.
Yeah, and the name of that guard, by the way, is Ao. Which, by the way, that opening of the episode almost made me like super emotional. Like
you gotta wonder, like Sebastian Stan in that scene was, that was incredible
acting. Like
the range of emotions that he went through in that 15 seconds, bro.
Yep.
I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, because the 15 seconds he went from terrified to scared to relieved and
to just fighting it. You could see him fighting it.
Just gushing tears of joy at the end of the scene.
Oh my God.
And it was so powerful that you forgot you're watching a goddamn superhero TV show.
And her just saying at the end, "You are now free." And I'm like,
oh my God.
Oh, I'm like, yes, Bucky. And the thing is, like, the entire previous episode 3, there's so many moments where you're afraid that he's going back to the Winter Soldier. And now here's a reminder that shows up at the end of the episode. And now to be a reminder throughout this episode, like, hey, I'm the one who brought you back. I'm the one who saved you. Like, Wakanda is why you are free. It's why you are the White Wolf now and not Winter Soldier.
I wonder if there's like a romantic involvement between those two also, because I kind of got that vibe a little bit, but maybe I was just looking for that and I kind of wanted it. So, and then, you know, that fight scene between them was awesome.
So good.
When Sam and Winter Soldier were just kind of hanging back.
They're just staying back.
What is he looking strong, John?
Looking good, John. I'm like, yes, please keep shitting on John Walker.
And then, I mean, just so many great moments in this show.
Oh my God, so
again,
good.
Again, Zemo is a fantastic.
He keeps stealing it, bro. He's so good.
He really does. He's so watchable.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
When he was breaking those vials of the Super Soldier Serum, were you kind of upset?
No, because
okay.
I want that because I want the even playing field. Now, I did kind of hope that Sam would take one.
I was thinking the same thing, but the thing is, he answered. This is something else that I loved analytically wise. So Zemo asks, hypothetically speaking, if you could take the serum, would you take it? And immediately, without hesitation, as he points out, Sam says no, because he knows he doesn't need it, or at least he doesn't believe he doesn't need it.
Which is exactly why Steve chose him. Exactly.
Like, he is the perfect choice to be Captain America. Yeah. He knows he doesn't need super strength to be Captain America. Whereas, Hop's Battlestar, the question gets asked to Battlestar. If you had the chance to take the serum, this is, of course, John Walker already has the serum when he took the last vial. He says, would you take it? And without hesitation, he doesn't think about it. He said, hell yeah, absolutely. Because he doesn't realize what it is. He doesn't realize what it can do. He doesn't realize how it can make people bad. He's seeing it from an outsider's perspective as, well, here's all these cool superheroes running around. Why wouldn't I want to be one? When Sam has been a part of them and he knows he doesn't need it.
And Battlestar is kind of John Walker's conscience.
A little bit, yeah.
His voice of reason. So that's why, again, spoiler alert.
Yes.
That's why when Kaylee, what's her name?
Carly.
Carly. That's why when Carly kills him.
Yeah.
It opens up a new. Oh my God, that scene.
Dude,
Jesus, that scene is incredible.
I knew at some point I was like, I think Battlestar is gonna die, and that's what's gonna like make John break, like officially break.
And I really like how Carly Morgenthau was kind of like almost getting her point across.
No, that's the thing that I'm liking about her now, because in the previous episode, she's like, here's my cause, and we don't really care. And then she blows up a building with people inside, and all of us are like, why are we supposed to like you again? And then the entire episode, like, her and Sam talking is probably some of the most exciting bits of that episode, because it's so engaging. He's getting his point across. We're relating to her, and it's working, which is what makes it more infuriating when John Walker comes smashing through the door.
But it's also kind of the juxtaposition of a guy. So like I saw this meme on the internet. Right. Stay who you are, right? Remember Captain America: First Avenger?
Yeah.
When Stanley Tucci's talking to him and he points to his chest. Man. Stay who you are. Not a good soldier, but a good man. And that's the difference. Sam is a good man. John Walker is a good soldier.
Yep.
So that's why, I mean, it's important that he got chosen. And he was the right guy for the job.
Right.
But you see that he's starting to make headway with Carly, and it's starting to make sense to her. And he's, you know, unfortunately at that point, it's kind of like maybe gone too far after they killed 3 people. I mean, like, there's really not much you could do. But
the whole idea is that, like, you know, he's sympathetic to her cause. And, you know, he's saying what you have to realize is what you've done isn't the right thing. But I still want to help you like achieve what you're trying to achieve, like because he believes in her cause. He believes in the idea that like people should be working together and not be separated by borders.
And it's an interesting study too, because I saw this thing on the internet, and I don't know how true it is, but it said that a lot of people, they said this guy, it's one of these YouTubers, one of these, aggro male, small penis YouTuber guys
All right.
that rages against, Star Trek, Star Wars.
Sure.
Easy, everybody. Sorry, it was just a wrong phrase. But he rages against like Daisy in Star Wars. He's one of those guys.
Right, yeah.
So he says that 80% of all people turned off Falcon and Winter Soldier when the police showed up after they left Isaiah's house because it was too woke, is what he said. So I thought it was interesting. First of all, I don't believe that.
No, absolutely not. That is that is what we call in the industry fake news. Like, right. That's just wrong. Right. That's just plain wrong.
So the interesting thing is they kind of doubled down on this with Sam's sister, whose name I also forget because I'm terrible with names.
Sarah, I think.
Sarah, that's right. So Sarah, an interesting thing about Sarah is she's talking to Carly on the phone, which, by the way, another great. Just this episode was full of great scenes like that. And when she says to her, she's like, They don't see us the same, so he's not my Captain America.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, like that's a really powerful statement, and I think kind of some insight into what's keeping Sam from picking the shield up. You know what I mean? So like
he's aware that he's aware that if he picks up that shield, there's a large portion of the country that won't accept him as Captain America.
Not a large portion of the country, a majority of the country who will say he's not my Captain America because he's black, and then the other half of like, he's a sellout. You know what I mean? Like, there's and this is the kind of thing, and you see that pressure which leads John Walker to take the superhero serum. First of all, when he got emasculated by the Royal Guard,
Dora Milaje, and then all he's thinking is like they weren't even super soldiers, and I'm like, because you're a bitch, and they're them.
Yeah.
Like, and even Sam says something too, like you'll have a better chance taking on Bucky than you would the Dora Milaje.
Absolutely, and they showed that, and they were badass, and the way that they work in Congress, because that's like, you got to think they're raised probably as children to be warriors, and that's how they're taught to fight together. And there was like some, and it was cool because Sam and Bucky didn't get involved until it was about to be spear murder.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, all right, we don't want you to kill him. All right, hold on.
Let's calm down. So it's like
Battlestar's dying later. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's too early in the plot for him to die. So I mean, that was kind of interesting. You kind of could tell at that point that he was going to cross that line and take the superhero. So, and then you knew from there on. So what I'm really looking forward to is, number one, finding out who the power broker is.
Yep. We definitely know it's not Zemo. I don't think it's, people are thinking it's Agent 13, Sharon Carter. But I don't think it's her either.
I think she's going to be a big part of the universe moving forward.
I think so, too.
I don't think it's her. I'm not convinced that it's still not Zemo.
Really? After he destroyed all the vials? Because that's kind of his whole thing.
Because he wanted to destroy them. That's why he wants the stuff, so he can destroy it.
No, Power Broker wants it so he can sell it and make more.
Yes, I guess.
That's his whole thing. He literally is a character who sells superhero powers. Like, that's his whole thing. That's why he's called the Power Broker.
It's going to be, so I'm excited to see.
Yes, me too.
I'm excited to see that. And number two, I'm looking forward to a super John Walker and Bucky fight.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
The thing is, I want it to come down to John and Sam. I want it to come down to them fighting each other without Bucky, because Bucky is a super soldier. Like, he has the serum in him. But I want Sam to prove that you don't need the serum to win. Because Sam was kicking ass against all the other super soldiers in that scene. He was doing it. I mean, he had his, tech available, but that's just his way of like trying to level the playing field and him doing what he does best. I want to see Sam fight John, and then for the show to not not only show us through morals, but also through action that Sam is the better choice.
All right.
I think that would be more appropriate.
That probably makes sense too, and that's probably the way it'll go down. I
Hmm.
thought there was a lot of really powerful symbolism in this episode.
Yes.
The Captain America shield covered in blood at the end was such a.
You feel so upset. You're like, that shield means so much to so many people, good and bad, and to see it covered in blood is just like, this is so wrong.
But also, what the antithesis to what Captain America Steve Rogers was always about. You know what I mean? And using a shield that's a defensive tool, defensive weapon, as an offensive weapon to kill is kind of one of those things where it's one of those criticisms that the U.S. has always gotten for interfering with foreign affairs.
Sure.
And the Captain America shield being covered in blood is a lot like a, being called out for interfering in world affairs and invading other countries and things like that. It's one of those, oh man, it's so deep.
It's so powerful.
For a comic book TV show to get this, not political, because that's what one of the things I hate is when people say these shows shouldn't get political. Of course they should, because now we're adults watching these. We're not kids reading comic books anymore, where it's good versus evil. Everything is nuanced, and there's levels to everything, and to watch this show and see that there were repercussions to the blip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just a happy ending because you snapped and brought everybody back. There were problems with that.
Yeah.
You brought people back and it created disease. It created displacement. You know what I mean? Like that is interesting. And
the fact that they mentioned like they'll take in any immigrants to help them rebuild their world, and then the moment everybody comes back, they push them out is so crazy to me, because all you're thinking is like, yeah, that would absolutely happen.
Absolutely.
And then also for the people, because I was seeing the same thing after, episode 2 with Isaiah and, the police showing up. I also kept seeing people doing the whole, like, this show should really stop being so political. And I'm like, Iron Man 1 is about a man who stops weapons manufacturing and takes matters into his own hands to, like, prevent world destructive weapons. If that's political, like, Winter Soldier is political. Civil War, the whole plot of Civil War is political. Like, much of Marvel has been political that it's like, just because now we're talking about like race issues and
see, that's when people say stop being political, that's always what they mean.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Stop highlighting the problems with race in this country.
Stop highlighting the thing that makes me uncomfortable. Like,
that's what they mean. That's exactly what 100%.
They mean. Like, because that's when they think it's crossed a line.
Right, because we're talking about like athletes shouldn't be political. Well, a lot of times athletes aren't being political. They're just pointing out human rights violations and pointing out things that they want people to see. That's not necessarily political. You know what I mean? Like this whole Major League Baseball thing right now, where they took the All-Star game out of Georgia.
That's right.
And that's like, stop being political. But that's not necessarily political. That is a statement because of a choice that they made that MLB feels like they're violating human rights.
Sure.
So that's not political. So it's a difference. And that's where I think that this show, and I want more Isaiah also.
I know. I'm waiting for Isaiah to show back up, dude. It can't just be that one episode, because I want to tell you more about Isaiah.
I want to see Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I almost forgot his name. Is so good as an actor and so
great
at his ability to be a calming force when there's chaos around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like watching this week. I watched Civil War again.
Yep.
And I watched Spider-Man: Homecoming again. I'm sorry, Far From Home again. It's only the second time I've seen that one.
Mhm.
But so when you watch Civil War, Sam is always the voice of reason. And you gotta love that. But he's also the guy who has your back 100%.
Right.
And that's Captain America, bro.
It is. It's 100%. He proved that he was more of a Captain America in Winter Soldier than most other characters have in all of the MCU.
Mm-hmm. I bet he could pick up the hammer.
We never saw him try, did we?
We did not.
Damn.
I don't know, man. He did probably do some dirt. I mean, as a, in the military.
Sure, but I don't know. That's a really good, like, his morals are all right.
I would be curious.
Dude, I love that thought, though.
Mm-hmm.
I love that thought.
We'll never know because Mjolnir doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't. So. Damn it. But damn, that's so, oh my God. That that gave me chills because I'm like, I love the idea of Sam being able to pick up Mjolnir. Damn.
Yeah, he's rapidly becoming one of my favorite characters in the MCU.
He's doing so well.
I think that it's like these shows really do a great job of, I really, really hate Scarlet Witch in Civil War because I'm Team Iron Man in that movie.
Sure.
So like her turning on Captain America, I always felt like she was real childish and real selfish.
She even has the line, "You locked me in my room," which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, and he's like, that's a little bit stupid.
He even says that's an oversimplification.
You killed a whole bunch of people. I was just trying to keep you from being on TV. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, so I didn't like her then, but after WandaVision, she's like, oh my God, she's so powerful.
She's one of my favorite characters.
She's one of my favorite characters now. And
I loved her the moment she showed up in Endgame.
Really?
At the end. Yeah. I loved her then. Because she does the whole, like, you took everything from me, and he does the whole, I don't even know who you are. And then Kevin Feige has said, if it was just Thanos and her, she would have killed him.
Yeah.
I think somebody asked Kevin Feige, who's the strongest Avenger right now? And it was after Endgame. This is when this question was asked. And he said currently it is Scarlet Witch because she can overpower Thanos. And I think he even hints, and this is before WandaVision came out. He was like, we haven't even hit her full potential yet.
Well, she doesn't even know how to. Now that she's learning her powers.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so great. Force.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting, especially when you put, Doctor Strange back into it. Yep. And, he's powerful. He's underratedly powerful. Like he's got.
It's true. However, Agatha does say that the Scarlet Witch, the ancient Scarlet Witch, would have more powerful or be more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, which is Doctor Strange. So technically she's more powerful, but I think he's going to help her reach that in the end. I think he's going to help her.
I mean, you definitely saw potential of that and the way she handled her business in that last episode of WandaVision. Right.
Oh my God, we're talking about WandaVision now. This is so great.
I mean, look, when we're discussing Loki, when we're doing this episode review, we're going to be talking about Winter Soldier.
We're going to be talking about it. Yeah.
Because this is it's all connected and it's in a great way. And honestly, it's the way I said the other day, just DC can't hang with the way that I mean, even when they made TV shows that correlated with each other, they weren't as well connected with these shows that aren't even touching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these shows are connected in a way that's so deep, they're not even touching or crossing over in any way. And it's already more of a cinematic universe than the TV shows on Netflix from DC that literally crossed over.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I would just like to point out that when the announcement came out about Phase 4 of Marvel and we did a movie podcast about it, Tank said he's not interested in any of it. And now, honestly, I think I'm more hyped for Marvel than I ever have been.
I mean,
like Infinity War, I didn't see until like 2 weeks after it came out, like because I just wasn't super like as hyped into Marvel as I am now. Now it's like pump Marvel into my veins. Like anything new, I'm in love with it. They can't do wrong.
how much of that is quarantine stuff though?
Maybe, and a year without it could be. But the fact of the matter is, we've kept getting great stuff. Everything leading up to Endgame, like I got this big fatigue on Marvel, and who knows, maybe I'll get it again. Where I was essentially just looking for things to dislike about movies. I saw Black Panther and pointed out 15 things that I hated about the movie, which ruined it for me. I did it with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I did it with Captain Marvel. When I rewatched all these movies with you for the podcast, I enjoyed every single one of them. And I had a great time. And Marvel just can't do wrong for me anymore. Like, I enjoy it.
I think that's quarantine talk, buddy.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
I do.
But
I really think it is.
I don't know.
But like, I see those movies the second they come out because I want to know what's going to happen next.
Well,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, now I'm in that route too. Like when Black Widow comes out, I'm not paying $30. I'm going to the theater.
I don't know if I'm ready to go back to the theater. They announced concerts here, but unfortunately, it's somebody I am the opposite of a big fan of.
So now worth it going to that concert.
I don't know if I'd go to any concert yet. I still don't know if I'm ready.
That's true.
And I'm vaccinated, so.
Are you?
I'm double vaxxed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got 2 weeks before they say
you're
that it's
good.
Before that it's fully effective, but
Yeah.
I'm fully vaxxed and just like meh.
You don't think you'll go see Black Widow in the theater then?
Nope.
Really?
I'll wait.
You'll wait, or are you gonna watch it on Access?
I'm not
Premium
gonna
Access?
pay $30 to see it either. No. Oh wait. I'm curious.
Let's go to the movies together, Tank. Let's go see Black Widow together.
Let's not.
No.
I'm curious how they're going to introduce the death of T'Challa.
Me too. I was thinking that the entire episode.
I thought we were going to get that in this show.
I thought so too. Especially I know it was just a style choice, but even when she showed up in black, I thought there was more of a grieving aspect to it that they're going to try to hint.
Yeah, and I just thought that she was going to say, "Look, we've lost our great king T'Challa, and we're not waiting anymore for justice from this guy for killing the other king." So I thought that's where we're headed. And honestly, I don't know if they probably won't do it in a show. They'll probably do it in not the next movie, but the next current movie.
No, you mean Black Panther 2 or?
No, the most current, like whatever the next.
Like
Marvel.
Oh yeah. So Black Widow, like 5 years in the past. Yeah. I get that.
I don't know if you saw, but she fell off a goddamn mountain, and she's not coming back for any more movies.
From the most recent trailer, they show off all these like shots of like her throughout the MCU, and it's like right before she falls. So somebody pointed out like, what if all of Black Widow is like her remembering her like time with her family that she had right before she dies? And I'm like,
her way down.
I'm like, don't do that to me.
Like her life flashing before her eyes, right
essentially,
before her head
yeah.
Flashes all.
Well, all right, yeah.
Wow, that's painful.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Black Widow and really all of the MCU. Loki looks great. Falcon and Winter Soldier, we got 2 episodes left, and I'm upset about that because goddamn, what are we gonna review after Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Whatever the next. I think What If is next, maybe, right?
No, I think it's Loki.
Is it Loki?
I think it's Loki, but Loki's not out until like May? No. When is Loki out? I don't remember. Well, when we watch Loki, we'll do it then too. But I'm like, damn, I'm so invested. But
we could do the new Mighty Ducks series.
Thank you so much for watching No Talking During the Movies. Watching us on YouTube, watching us there, and listening to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram and blah, 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 blah. I just wanted to get away from Mighty Ducks. How are you feeling, Tank?
I'm feeling good, man. I love this show, and I love talking about it, so I'm really excited to keep it up.
Yeah, all right. Once again, I am your host, Steven Austin, and we will see you next time for more Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sorry I cut you off, Tank.
It's all right.
And say I'm Tank. Say I'm Tank.
I'm Tank.
Bye, everybody.